national sports, brought to you this hour by CrossFit America. Let's check that Flathead Valley weather forecast and see what's in store for the next few days. Cloudy skies, highs on Thursday in the 60s, but don't break out the sunscreen just quite yet, as Montana's third wind
Why? As humans, we always look for a connection to somebody else. That's why we get into this job field. Why would you be in any department or run any department without having somebody that's only job is to ensure that those connections are strong and healthy? The second that that chaplain steps on scene, there's just kind of this overall sense of, okay, this is the next step, and this is, they make it go from chaos to comfort.
I'm Drew Buckner. I'm the Executive Director of Braveheart Chaplain Ministry. And so we provide chaplain services to emergency responders and their families, and then the citizens that are in crisis throughout Flathead County. A chaplain is a minister, not necessarily in the formal ordained sense, but just somebody who is, commissioned, we'll call it, to be in a role of providing spiritual care, emotional support, mental support. In our context, again, on scenes with the citizens and also with the responders, both on scene and afterwards.
Being an EMT for a lot of years, I had a couple significant calls that stuck to me emotionally, and I had people that came alongside and encouraged me, and I saw the value in that. And then Braveheart was looking to expand and asked if I would come on as their first female chaplain, and it felt so right. Not because I had some deep insight, but because I could walk through hard moments with people.
It was a death notification. A family member had died out of state in a car accident. The chaplain responded with me to the local family member to help make that notification. Again, in this particular situation, the family member was very strong in their faith, and I think having the chaplain there, they already had that connection, and it made it a lot easier for that person to try to process what was going on.
Seeing the chaplain that I interacted with was great, and I had him pray with me once. There was another chaplain in the hospital that spent some time with my daughter who was recovering, and she really enjoyed her company. It was very meaningful to her.
There was a triple homicide here in the county, and one of the murder victims was a child, and it was just indescribable, really, about just responders. They hardly could talk about it, and it affected some of their careers very drastically. And so the shock of what one person can do to another one, it rattles you, and it tests your foundation. Like, what is my life, what is God really like, and what is my relationship with Him, and how does all this work together?
Oh, I think we're definitely in a position where I can't imagine working in law enforcement without the chaplain program now. Calls that I didn't deal with when I first started as a law enforcement officer. There's violent crimes that we weren't dealing with 10 years ago.
It became apparent the more you realize the toll that it takes on the first responder and how much stress can be alleviated by having that extra person on scene that can deal specifically with the survivors or the bystanders.
The value that Braveheart has brought Evergreen Fire is so significant, and because they have been inserted into our department and we call it embedded, but people are not going to talk to a stranger. And that's the value that Braveheart brings, is that they've built that relationship prior on the front end, and I think that that is why they're effective.
And we fill a role that no one else can fill. When a citizen is having their darkest day perhaps, and maybe facing one of the most difficult things they've ever tried to handle in life, they need some assistance. So we fill a role that no one else can fill, and it is a very unique opportunity and a privilege.